Thank you for the daily heartbeat. Yay! HCYJCY is in the building. How are you? How are you? How are you? HCYJCY, can you hear me? HCYJCY, can you hear me? Because I can't hear you. Meek, do you have the tap up the screen, share out the live, tap up the screen, share out the live. In a couple of more minutes, we are going to get started with Life Unscripted. HCYJCY, take your phone off of mute. Can you hear me? HCYJCY, I need you to say something. I can't hear you. Welcome in, Ghosty. Welcome in. Everybody tap up the screen, share out the live. Can you hear me, HCYJCY? Can you say something? HCYJCY, can you say something, please? Take your phone off of mute. Take your thing off of mute. You're on mute. Now, can you talk? We're doing a quick test. This is our first episode of Life Unscripted. Can you not hear me? HCYJCY. What baby? Ghosty, what baby? Nick, welcome in, Nick. I can't hear you. You got to figure out what's going on because I can't hear you. Okay, you just put your phone on mute. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Hello? I just heard you. Okay, everyone, we are doing a test run. Thank you, Ghosty. Thank you, Ghost Gang. HCYJCY, thank you for the heart me, but I need you to get off of mute. I heard you at first, but I couldn't hear you. Do you have your watch on? Are you talking through? What are you talking through? And you have me on mute. Take your phone off of mute. Now, can you say something? I see your screen flashing. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? Bree, can you hear me? What are you talking through? Hey, Brandy, welcome in. HCYJCY, can you not hear me? Thank you, Bree. Hey, Kevin, welcome in. Hey, Brandy, welcome in. Welcome in. We're going to be starting shortly. Money, welcome in. Unbreakable, welcome. HCYJCY, can you say something in here? Why don't you go out and come back in? I'm going to drop you and come back in. Hey guys, how are y'all? How is everybody? Everybody. We are about to hop into the first episode of Life Unscripted. This is going to be a test run. HCY, JCY, are you there? Can you cut your volume up? Because I cannot hear you. Bye, HCY, JCY. I got nailed in here. That's all I need right there. Boom.
Um,
Beautiful.
oh,
I just want you to know you're my favorite girl. Hey, Netta, this is
mm,
the first episode of Life Unscripted. Okay?
right.
So we are in You Are My guest panel today, and
Okay.
we are going to talk about your power, your story.
Mm,
Now, this is episode one, and in episode one, we are going to talk about the power of a new chapter. Okay? So, are you ready, Netta? Are you ready to talk
hello?
to can you hear me? Can you hear me, Netta?
I can now. You cut out for a little bit.
Okay, so are you ready to talk about your story, your power?
You gonna ask questions?
We're going to have conversation. And
Okay.
in episode one, we're going to talk about the power of a new chapter, the power of a new chapter in life. So tell me, Netta, let's talk about why starting over is sometimes the best gift that life can give you.
Why starting over is sometimes the best gift that life can
Can
give
give you.
you.
Let's talk
Hmm.
about it, sister.
Why starting over? I
I
think
think
because you learn. I think because you learn from your mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And when you start over, you already know what red flags to look for, or per se, you already know the do's and don'ts of it's in anything. You relationships, new jobs, um, a new home, a new car. It don't have to be a relationship. Just red flags and starting over in anything. A new job, a new relationship, new cars, new homes.
Yeah, like for me, Netta, sometimes life doesn't give you a choice. It just turned the page for you, right?
Hmm.
And I feel like, in my season, I've been in a season of not only turning pages, but also in a season, excuse me, of creating new chapters, right?
Right.
I've been in a season of creating new chapters. And the thing of it is, can you tell me why, Netta? Just help me understand, because this is a coping mechanism for me. It's a coping mechanism for me, and it's like why change feels scary, but it's often necessary. And for myself, I'm gonna say
Right.
change is scary for me because going through this divorce, right? Going through this divorce. I never wanted to see myself divorced at 50. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Who wants to be divorced at 50, right? Who wants to be, because we really don't have a dating pool. When you get our
Mm-mm.
age, we have a dating pond, okay? Meaning
Right.
the pickings are slim. The pickings are slim. And so for
Unless you
me,
want,
it's
unless
like,
you want to be a cougar, you don't want to be no cougar.
no, I do not be. No, I don't want to be a cougar. I just don't want to be a. I'll be a dinosaur instead of a cougar. But the thing
Right.
of it is, it's often necessary because I know, like going through this divorce, I know that this marriage was not for me. I know that what life has taught me. Just because you have people that grow up in a household where there's two parents, don't necessarily mean that you're equally yoked, right?
Right.
So you tell me, in your opinion and through your life experiences, because honey, you have some wisdom, you have some discernment, you have some tenure. Tell me, why do you feel the change in life is scary, but it's also necessary?
Because sometimes we get used to if you've been with I can, you know, it falls back on relationship. Just anything. If you used to, because change was very scary for me to leave my job, right?
Oh yes. Oh
Okay, I'm
yes.
gonna use my job as an example because I've always used to being the provider. I've always been used to giving to others. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. That's you're a giver by
And
nature.
it was very scary for me because I was like, how am I gonna make it? But then me being who I am and trusting in who I believe in and knowing that I have faith, I stepped out on faith and God is opening doors for me. So it's good for me.
Hmm.
He just wanted me to trust him.
Sometimes you got, like they say, sometimes you got to trust him when you can't even trace him. You
Right.
know, and also too, and I agree with you, HCY, JCY, in the comments, is how you change.
Right.
Now, I'm going to be very honest with you, and I'm going to come to you guys from a religious perspective, right? So I've always went to church, took my kids to church, you know, this, that, and other, grew up in church, right? You know, believe in God, but I grew up Catholic, right?
Hmm.
So, but I grew up Catholic, and I knew how to say my prayers, right? Because our prayers were standard: Our Father, Hail Mary, Glory be, right? We didn't have those prayers where we wasn't taught those prayers like, Father God, I come to you today in the name of your precious Son Jesus, you know, and then you talk to God about you
Hmm.
talk to God about the needs and the desires of your heart. And so I felt like for me, I stayed in a religion that I was not getting spiritually fed,
Hmm.
but I stayed in a religion because of my parents. So I was loyal. I was loyal to the religion versus
Right.
loyal to opening up and having my own relationship, personal relationship with God. Right. So that, I'm going to be very honest with you. That marriage, because I was not really happy. It was a stressful marriage. Um, that marriage, the one that I'm currently in, that marriage drew me closer to God as far as talking, as far as having conversations, as far as, and thank you everybody for coming in. Tap up the screen, share out the live. We're in our first podcast with Life Unscripted with Miss Gina. And my guest host today is Miss Netta K. For me, you know, going through that episode, welcome in, Big Capricorn, welcome in. For me, going through that episode with that marriage brought me closer to God in a different light, right? Now, versus my second marriage with Hannah's dad, you know, the things I wanted from, and this is where the change came in. The change, it was scary, but it was necessary.
Hmm.
Where me and Hannah's dad came in, loved each other, had a beautiful partnership, ran the house. When I say partners, ran the house. We got 6 kids through high school and into college. All
Right.
6 of them. That's very unheard of in a big family. So shout out to GGY and HCY. However, from the marital perspective, when people get married, they get married for companionship. And we were missing that companionship versus with the third, and it's not comparison, but versus with the third marriage, it's like, okay, everything is fun, 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 fun. Oh, let's have fun. But where was my partner? Okay.
Hmm.
I had that companion, but where was my partner? Um, would you care to elaborate or shed any light? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Nick Nick. Would you care to share light on any like relationship experiences that you know you feel that you had to change, either change your environment, change
Yeah.
your go ahead.
Yeah. Like I said, I had to change my environment to get the help that I need from, my medical necessities. And that's going good. I praise be to God. And a lot of people didn't know that I was married because I didn't broadcast it on TikTok or nothing like that. But I just recently got divorced myself. And at first, going through the divorce because like you said, uh unevenly yoked, and I knew it, but I wanted to be that one to be married because I saw everybody else had their marriage. They were happy, 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 happy. You know, and I know everybody go through stuff, don't get me wrong, but you know, even going through that taught me many things about a marriage now, you know. So, and I'm not going to say that I'm not going to get married again because I know that God has my husband out there for me. But it taught me to be aware of some things and red flags, like I said. Now, he's a good person, don't get me wrong, and I never bash him, but he wasn't a provider. And he didn't have good communication skills. And that's a must for me. I need communication. Communication is the key for me. You know, far as being a provider, yeah, you were able. What I'm saying is he wasn't a good provider because he was able bodied. Yes, I did take my vows serious, for richer, for poor, for better, for worse. Now, like I said, if something was wrong with him and he couldn't provide, that's where I step in because I am his helpmate. Hey, shh. And but he didn't want to provide, and that's where it fell off with me and him because he didn't provide and he wasn't a good communicator. And I couldn't continue with that. And when I learned to accept that he wasn't a good provider and he wasn't a good communicator, that's when I got better with it, you know, and I was okay with going through the divorce.
I really I really appreciate you coming in and sharing your story with me and being my guest speaker, because I know that this is our first episode. It was very impromptu, but
Hmm.
also from you I would like to know, hold on one sec. Coming from you, I would like to know, like, any encouraging words that you would have for someone that's trying to figure out life, like figure out, okay, because I think sometimes change is not only good, change is necessary. And I know a lot of times when we hit a certain point in our age, and Mr. HCYJCY just made a good point. Most men struggle with feelings. So before we get to your encouraging words, HCYJCY say most men struggle with feelings. What are your thoughts in regards to that?
Yeah, most men do struggle with feelings, but my thing is, you know, you you trusted me enough to marry me, so why can't you trust me with your feelings?
And also too, I have a guest here with me, Netta. I have a guest here with me. His name is Mr. Gerald. He does not want to be seen because he's not groomed. But Mr. Gerald, I want to know from your standpoint, because you're a young man. Not only you're a young man, you're a young father that's trying to make things happen with your kids, trying to handle that balance, right? So tell me, and can you guys hear Mr. Gerald? Can you tell me, why do men struggle with feelings?
Um,
Talk about it.
it really goes by who you are, which type of man you are, whether you're vocal or whether you keep it internal. Um, we don't struggle with our feelings. We know our feelings. It's just about expressing it.
Okay, so you think that it's more of an expression, like, okay, so why do you think that men, and see, the title of this, Mr. Gerald, is Your Story, Your Power. And the thing of it is, we want to know why starting over is sometimes the best gift that life can give you. And I spoke on my experience, from my second marriage to my third marriage and going through certain things. But why do you feel, from your perspective, again, why starting over can be the best gift that life can give you?
Because you can start from scratch. You know, certain things can go bad, and you got to start over, and you got to reassess yourself, reassess your life.
I like that.
You know,
Yep.
That's my baby. That's my baby. That's my oldest one. Okay,
I
go ahead.
hear you.
you just got to rebrand.
I like that.
Sometimes you have to do that.
And so, a person says that being hurt breaks you hard, right? And I feel like, and this is my thing, right?
It
And
does, but you got to learn how to forgive, and that was my big thing. Um, Being hurt does break you, but everybody is not out here to hurt us. I had to realize that too. You know what I'm saying? Going back to my religion, God will show you them signs of you not being evenly yoked to that person. And he showed me that we wasn't evenly yoked. But still, I wanted to do it on my own. You know what I'm saying? Even though I had been hurt in the past, I was like, okay, you know what? This man not gonna hurt me like others. That's what I was thinking in my mind. But he has showed me these signs that we wasn't evenly yoked on things that he has for me and a husband. You know what I'm saying? Like going to church, praying. It's not about financial. It's not all about financial stuff. It's about your spiritual, your mentally, your emo. It's about mental, physical. He every time. I'm just say this. One time, I wanted to pray before we went on a road trip. And he said, "Don't pray for me, pray for yourself." You know what I'm saying? You don't say stuff like that. Why
right.
would you say that? You know, that was a red flag right there.
Hmm. And so, and the thing of it is, and so, again, and I love these comments. Thank you so much for being interactive in the comments. In Life Unscripted is going to look so different. It's not going to be a panel like sister to sister. It's going to be a panel of, guest hosts talking about certain things in these episodes. So, with that being said, like for me, Netta, okay, HCY, JCY say, but with men is different. But why is it so different? Like, why is it? That's why I really wanted your mic to work. I wish someone was helping you with your phone, HCY, JCY, because I really wanted to hear your voice to voice. Why is it so different? Why is it that men have such a hard time expressing their feelings? And the thing of it is, you know, everyone has been hurt, especially when you've been our age, right? Like our age group. We done been through relationships. We done probably been married a couple of times, right? We've experienced hurt from relationships. But I feel like when you meet somebody that really shows you their heart in its authenticity, I think that you should give that person a chance. Like for me, I'm never gonna give up on love because I love love. I love love. I love the idea of love. I love in my in my head how I feel what love should look like, how I feel what love should be. And once you're at a certain age and once you're at a certain point in your life, you pretty much know, what you want, and you pretty much know, your idea of what you feel like your experience with love should be. um Netta, your thoughts?
That's true. You know, he keeps saying, men are different. I get it. I get it. But at some point in time, that light bulb need to come on and say, "Hey, you know what? This is the person for me. She care about my feelings. She care about my emotions. She care about my whole being. So why come I can't express myself the way I need to express myself to my wife? I'm not saying your girlfriend. I'm not saying your side piece. I'm not saying your one night stand. I'm saying your wife. Why come you can't express yourself to your wife?"
I totally agree. I'm having a moment with these lashes, y'all. So that's why I'm so glad that this is a trial. This is a trial run. Um, of what this podcast is really going to look like, and what we're doing going forward. Hi, John
Oh, kill
Carpenter.
'em alive.
Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. And like, what words of encouragement, Miss Netta, that you have for anyone that's maybe listening, to us right now, that's struggling, that's struggling with starting over, or struggling with
Yeah, I'm gonna just say, first of all, you know, get your prayer life. Make sure you have a strong prayer life. She keep calling me. A strong prayer life, trust in God. Don't give up, because truly He has one out there that's for you, designed for you. And make sure, you know, to have ask Him for discernment, you know, to show you who that person truly is, inside and out.
that's beautiful. And I would like to invite the panel, like in the comments. Do you have any questions or concerns when before I give my closing statement? I'm gonna go for a brief pause. HCY, JCY, you say you wish you could talk, but I tried to bring you up from a male's perspective. I've invited you back. Hopefully, we can get this microphone thing together.
Why are you being disrespectful?
HCY, JCY? I can't hear you, dear. You say what? Hey, you putting your phone on mute. So, I actually wish that you were here to talk about this with me. I think better. I think it'll be better if you would just come and we can host this together next Tuesday at 7 o'clock p.m. But for me, I would like to say to anybody, whether it's whether it's your relationship, whether it's your career, whether it's a different type of family dynamic, just take this time out to reflect on one chapter in your life that you are ready to close. It doesn't necessarily have to be, okay, I want to end this relationship. It doesn't necessarily have to be, I want to end, a marriage or something. Thank you so much, Mr. Wolf. Thank you so much. Welcome to Life Unscripted. This is episode 1. We're talking about why starting over. Actually, we're wrapping up why starting over is the best gift that sometimes life can give. I love a good new beginning. Netta, you can unmute yourself, sweetheart. Me personally, I love a new beginning. I love a new beginning. When it's the right move. I love a new beginning when it's the right move. I love a new beginning where it's gonna be advantageous for that individual. So I would always tell anyone, just take the time and reflect on what area in your life that you want to close a chapter on. And
Yeah.
it could be your next career move. It could be, you know what? You want to close the chapter of, you probably want to open a chapter of educating yourself. You probably want to open a chapter of going back to school. That's closing a chapter of, hey, you know what? I'm tired of what I'm doing right now. This is not tired right now. Where I'm at in this life is not really taking care of me financially. Hi, Visit Kenya. Welcome in. Let me educate myself. Let me go back to school. Let me do this. Let me do that. I know for me, I could speak for myself. One of the changes that I had to make is when I decided, hey, Chica Malika. It's when I decided to go back to school for my undergrad degree at that time. I mean, I didn't go to college fresh out of high school. I waited after I had all of my children
Right.
because I got tired of working overtime. I got sick and tired of working overtime. So let me go back to school and educate myself to where my regular checks can look like these overtime checks, and I don't have to take all this time away from my kids. Because going back to school, trying to raise children, they're in activities, working overtime, that tends to take a toll. It just tends to take a toll. That was hard, y'all. That was hard. But I appreciate my support system. I appreciate the people my village, and the people that I had in my life and in my corner while I was going through that process. So closing the chapter of working overtime to build a life um, that I wanted to give my family, which is, my children, I had to make some sacrifices with that. So, again, turning chapters, starting a new chapter, turning pages. You are never too old. You are never too young to write your story. Your story
Right.
is your story. And it's for you to write, and it's for you to edit. But the only thing I will say is just what life has taught me. Make sure, make sure when you write that story, make sure when you close that chapter, make sure when you make your next move, it is in alignment with the plans that God has for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times we tend to take these steps, and we tend to make these steps without consulting God. And guess what? He will show
Baby.
you. He will show you, hey, that was not the way to go. That was not what I had designed for you. That was not the plan that I had for you. So that's one of the things that I would say, you know.
What did he say?
That's true.
And that's pretty much what I have. So I just want to say thank you all for attending the first episode with me of Life Unscripted. And so what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to end this live, and then I'm going to start another one. So I'm about to end this one and start another one. And
Alrighty.
I thank y'all so much. I love you guys, and thank you, Netta. Thank you for being the best impromptu guest speaker with me.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm gonna end this and then start the live back over.
All right, I'll come back in a minute.
Okay, baby.
You should